She was just 15, alive in the crowd at the Fillmore Silver Spring on August 24th, cheering for the man she thought was a star. Days later, her body was found in his car. That video of her in the audience has resurfaced, and it changes everything. This isn't rumor anymore. It's proof she was there, proof of a connection he can't erase. Add the vigil, the photos, the raids, and the digital cleanup, and the question becomes impossible to ignore. If this much evidence is in the open, why haven't the authorities done anything? I've watched this clip from August 24th, 2025 at the Fillmore Silver Spring more times than I can count, and I want to walk you through it. The camera pans across the crowd, the stage lights sweeping over faces, and there she is, Celeste. You can see her singing along, moving with the music, caught in that energy like any teenager would be. For a moment, it's just a girl at a concert, living what should have been one of the best memories of her life. But now, knowing what came after, it feels different. This isn't just a concert video. It's evidence. Proof she was there, alive, in his audience before her story ended in tragedy. And people didn't hesitate to point it out. One comment reads, "Oh yeah, that's her for sure." Another adds, "Yes, in this photo, you can see that it's 100% her." The recognition is immediate and absolute. No debates, no second guessing. Everyone who's seen the footage knows it's her. That's what makes the video impossible to dismiss. It isn't rumor or speculation, it's time-stamped reality, captured in a crowd, now echoing across the internet. She wasn't hidden. She wasn't in the shadows. She was right there, in plain sight. And if strangers online can see it so clearly, why are the authorities still silent? Days after the concert video resurfaced, Lake Elsinore turned into a sea of candles and grief. The vigil for Celeste wasn't quiet, it was powerful. Her classmates, neighbors, and family spoke about her intelligence, her kindness, the way she carried herself with so much potential. You could feel the weight in the air. This wasn't just about mourning, it was about demanding answers. I watched the footage from that vigil, and what struck me was the frustration in people's voices. They weren't just crying, they were angry. Angry that a 15-year-old girl could go from singing in a theater to being found in a car, and still nothing concrete has been done. One speaker said, "We're not going to stop until justice is served." And the crowd echoed that energy. That's the difference now. The concert video made her presence undeniable. The vigil made the demand for justice undeniable. Together, they've pushed this story past internet speculation. It's no longer whispers on a subreddit, it's families and communities saying out loud what everyone else is already thinking. If this much evidence is in plain sight, why are the authorities still silent? After the concert video shook everyone, the internet started digging deeper, and more evidence came to light. Photos of Celeste began resurfacing, some old, some recent, and people immediately connected them back to him. Each picture reminded us she wasn't just a headline or a case file. She was a real teenager with a face, a presence, and a life. Seeing those images now feels different. They've become part of a timeline that points straight at the truth. And what happened next proves just how far this has spread. People weren't just sharing photos, they were strategizing. One user urged, "Hey, so you can send in an anonymous tip through LA Crime Stoppers with the footage and everything." Another asked how to realistically go about it, pointing out that whoever filmed had a pretty clear shot of her and maybe some better footage. And then there was the blunt comment, "You should send this into the tip line." The closer we connect D4vd to the date of her death, the stronger the case. I've never seen an audience turn into investigators this fast. Screenshots are being archived, threads preserved, and now tips are being directed straight to law enforcement. It feels like the internet is building a case in real time while the authorities stand still. And that's what makes this chapter of the story so powerful. The public isn't waiting for justice, they're trying to force it. Not long after the footage and photos began circulating, LAPD made their move. A search warrant was executed at the Hollywood Hills home D4vd had been renting, and investigators walked out carrying computers, hard drives, and boxes of potential evidence. For me, that moment shifted this case from whispers online to something much bigger. The authorities are clearly digging, even if they're staying quiet about what they've found. Think about it. They don't raid a house like that without reason. They don't haul out equipment unless they believe it holds answers. And with the concert video and resurfaced photos already painting a timeline, those devices could be the missing link. Were there messages between him and Celeste, location data tying them together, files that connect directly to the night of August 24th? That's the question on everyone's mind. Online, people are connecting the dots themselves. If fans can see the evidence this clearly, one post read, imagine what's sitting on those hard drives. And I agree. The silence from investigators is starting to feel less like caution and more like delay. Because here's the truth. While the public has built a digital archive of evidence, the LAPD is holding the keys to the physical one. And the longer they take to reveal what's inside, the louder the suspicion grows. If this raid mattered enough to happen, why hasn't the public seen the results? When the concert video surfaced, people went back to his art. And suddenly the pieces looked different. One clip in particular has exploded online, the One More Dance music video. In it, a body is dragged across the ground and stuffed into the trunk of a car. Months ago, people brushed it off as edgy visuals. Now, after Celeste was found in his car, the parallel feels impossible to ignore. I've watched it, and it doesn't come across as creativity anymore. It looks like foreshadowing. Fans are saying the same. One comment that stuck with me read, "This video is basically him acting out what we now know happened." Another person put it bluntly, "Art doesn't line up with reality this perfectly by accident." That's the sentiment rippling through the internet right now. And it's not just the visuals. The lyrics are getting dissected all over again. In Romantic Homicide, he sang, "In the back of my mind, I erased you and I didn't even regret it." Back then, it felt like heartbreak. Now, with Celeste gone, those words hit like a confession. Add to that the timing. The song dropped on her birthday, and it feels less like coincidence and more like obsession bleeding into his work. The concert video showed Celeste alive. The music videos show death, erasure, and obsession. Put them together, and it's hard not to feel like he was telling the story long before the world realized. The more evidence piles up, the more desperate the cleanup looks. His subreddit was suddenly locked. Posts questioning him vanished overnight. Entire threads calling out the concert video or dissecting his lyrics were wiped like they never existed. And then came the rumors. Burner accounts allegedly tied to his camp, deleting or moderating conversations before they could spread. I've seen fans call it out directly. He's scrubbing the internet to save himself. And honestly, it looks that way. But here's the irony. Every time something disappears, it only gets louder. Fans archive faster than anything can be erased. Screenshots are saved, videos re-uploaded, threads mirrored. The harder he tries to clean his digital trail, the guiltier it looks. Because if there's nothing to hide, why fight so hard to erase it? And yet, while the internet moves in real time, the system drags. The autopsy is still deferred. Toxicology reports are pending. Despite the concert video, the resurfaced photos, the raid on his home, and even a music video showing a body stuffed into a trunk, no charges have been filed. Nothing. The silence from the authorities is deafening. That's what infuriates me most. A 15-year-old girl is dead. She was in his crowd. She was found in his car. The public has preserved evidence. Fans are handing files directly to LAPD, and still, not a single step toward accountability. So I have to ask, how much more do they need? If strangers online can piece together a timeline, what excuse do the authorities have for standing still? Because every day they hesitate, the suspicion doesn't just stick to him, it sticks to them. She was in his crowd. She was found in his car. And now she's gone. The video, the photos, the raids, the lyrics, the cleanup, the evidence is everywhere, yet justice is nowhere. Every day that passes without action only deepens suspicion, not just of him, but of the system protecting him. Celeste's story is no longer a rumor, it's proof, archived and undeniable. And if this doesn't lead to accountability, then what does? The silence is breaking, and when the truth finally crashes through, it won't be ignored.